Life is a winding road.
Okay, you guys, today is day one of the process of trying to buy a duplex. I'm gonna walk you guys through the entire process. So you guys aren't gonna see this until the end. Hopefully it ends with us getting a duplex, or if it ends with us waiting a lot longer than we expected. We're hoping this is more of like a month's situation. And today is December 7th, 2022. And today is the day that we contacted a mortgage lender. We contacted our realtor. I provided them with all of Tommy's information. I'm currently right now gathering all of the documents together. As of right now, they asked me for the last 2 months of our bank statements. They asked me for the last 4 weeks of his pay stubs, driver's license, and they did a full-on credit report. So in the credit report showed what we knew what was going to show, that he has 2 student loans in default and you are unable to buy a house, duplex, whatever, with student loans in default. So our plan was, I wrote this in a program to try to get him out of collections, but that involved us paying $5 a month for 9 months straight in order to get his student loans taken out. That wasn't the case. I missed the first few months, which sucked, so I didn't start until 3 months ago. But with everything going on, as far as like them pushing back the payment dates and then the whole Biden loan forgiveness thing, it said that he qualified for it. I did the application for him and it said he qualified to get his loans paid off, which if he qualified to get it paid off, why would I pay towards it? And then right now you actually don't even need to make any payments towards any loans. It was just so much going on that I'm like, there has to be something out there that I can do that doesn't involve us paying it off completely in order to buy the duplex. So that was going to be our last resort. Was I was going to haggle them and settle for half the amount. So I think he owed $6,600. I was going to try to get them to take it out with $3,000, and I was going to haggle them to death until they gave me a pay for delete letter. So I was ready to do all that, but then I called, and I've been seeing this fresh start initiative everywhere saying that millions of borrowers who have defaulted loans can qualify for a fresh start, meaning that they can get their loans reinstated and out of collections without really doing much other than qualifying and applying for it. Turns out she looked at it, she said he qualified for it. The only thing we had to do was apply. She also said during this process, it removes the default notification that's on the credit report. So it basically shows the creditors who are running your report that it's not defaulted anymore, even though they haven't taken it out yet. So I'm not sure how true that is. I will let you know when I contact the mortgage lenders back and I tell them about, what I did. She says it usually takes 3 to 4 weeks for the defaulted loans to be transferred over to the new loan, and then they send you a letter saying, okay, your loan has been transferred over to this. Here's your new payment plan. Okay, you guys, I'm gonna do an update right now. It is December 9th. I just got a phone call from the mortgage lenders, and basically because we decided to go the route of doing the Fresh Start initiative instead of just paying it off, we're gonna have to wait until the student loan is completely out of collections. So because of that, he called us and he said that we won't be able to continue with the pre-qualification until it shows that those loans are no longer in collections and that they're in an active status. So we're gonna wait. I think waiting an extra 3 to 4 weeks is definitely worth saving the $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 that we would have just spent to just pay it off if that was our last option to do it. He said that once that's out, everything else looked good. His credit looked good, his income looked good. Basically, we qualified in every other aspect except for that student loan. So we're going to fast forward an entire month to January 2nd. When I received that letter, I did resubmit his application to try to get him approved, but unfortunately his credit report still showed that it was in default, so we could not do anything and we had to wait a whole other month. Guys, it has been an entire month since I last gave an update, and that's because we had to wait an entire month to make sure that the removal of the student loans actually reported on his credit report. And it's been a month. I resubmitted our applications. I resent all of the pay stubs, his W-2, because now he has his 2022 W-2, which I'm hoping works in our favor because he did make most money last year. So hopefully that'll help with our debt to income and how much we end up getting pre-qualified for. But I emailed everything to her on Friday. She just got back to me today. Today is Wednesday, February 1st, and she said, hey, yes, received everything that I need. I'm gonna go through and process the application. I don't know if he's gonna call today, I don't know if he's gonna call tomorrow, but I'm hoping he calls while I'm home so that I can record it with my camera, whatever he ends up saying, whether it's we have to wait for whatever reason, something came up, oh my gosh, God forbid, or if we're pre-qualified. Oh my gosh, it's so wild. So hopefully we get some good news today. I dragged my camera everywhere with me for the next 3 days just so that I can record the moment that he called me to tell us that we were pre-qualified, and I cannot believe that I lost the footage. Oh my gosh. I ran out of storage on my memory card, so I had to delete some things, and I accidentally deleted that footage of him telling us that we got pre-qualified. We got pre-qualified for $175,000, but there is some other stuff that I will explain later on in the video, but we got pre-qualified. I could not be more excited. We've been saving money for the last 2 years and have been trying for the last 2 years. All we got was just a bunch of no's, and now we finally got our yes. Good morning, guys. It has been a minute since I've had an update for you regarding this duplex buying process. So today is March 10th. It has been 6 weeks since we got pre-qualified, and in those 6 weeks we have not seen in person not one duplex. By the time that we would see one that was in our price range pop up, we would message to our realtor, try to get an appointment right away. Within a day, it's already pending. Like, it's like insane how fast these duplexes are all like, they're just pending so fast. And I'm like, what the heck? Yesterday morning, I seen this one popped up that we're gonna go see today, and it's gonna be the first duplex that we're actually gonna be able to see in person. Tommy's gonna meet me there. I just dropped the kids off with my sister, and Tommy's dad's also gonna meet us there because he owns a bunch of duplexes, so he knows what to look out for, the right questions to ask, and all that stuff. So he's meeting us there as well. So I'm so excited to at least just be able to see one in person and to feel like we're actually in this home buying process again. It just hasn't felt. It's been complete like radio silence for 6 weeks, and it's crazy because we were pushing so hard to get pre-qualified, and then by now, because it literally took us 6 weeks to even just go inside of a home to check it out because there was nothing available. I'm not going to record because clearly I don't know, like, for privacy issues, like if I'm even allowed to record and stuff. So I'll let you guys know what we think, what our thoughts are, and if this could be a good one for us to jump on. You guys, we just got done seeing it and it looks good to us. It checks off a lot of the boxes of what we were looking for, so we submitted an offer. Oh my gosh, it doesn't even feel real. It doesn't even feel real. But like I mentioned, we hadn't even gone to see a house for 6 weeks because everything was just like immediately like pending. And we're like, okay, so if we really like it, we have to jump on it fast because clearly, so we did an offer. I don't even remember exactly what the offer was. Not the number, but I'm talking about like what came along with the offer. So you don't only offer the amount of money, you offer the contingencies and all the extra stuff like next to it. So it was like a whole package deal that we decided to do. So now we just wait. She submits the offer, and now we just wait to see what they say and if they accept or like what happens. I don't know. I'm trying not to get my hopes up because obviously anything can happen. I'm just excited that we were actually able to submit an offer. Like, just saying that is like so cool. So I will let you guys know. It's been a few hours, 3 hours to be exact, and I'm trying to keep you guys like updated with every little thing. The guy who works for the bank that's going to get us the loan, he gave us a call and he was like, I'm having a problem getting the offer approved through the bank because of his score, and then the student loans were still in default, but they weren't showing as default. So they were like in the clear, but they were still there. So just the presence of it alone, and then with his score being at 626, that is why we only got approved for 175. But because we were looking into a duplex, our realtor had told us that we can look into something a little bit higher because they'll include the income from those rental properties as income towards like getting the approval from the mortgage bank. So the total cost of the house could go a little bit higher. So she had previously told us we can go up to $300,000. We didn't want to do that. We wanted to stick below $250,000 for sure to make the mortgage doable. When he called me, he was like, hey, I'm having some trouble. And I was like, dang, like, I'm already like feeling the disappointment. And he's like, I'm gonna run his score again. Are the student loans like definitely off? And I'm like, they should be because they were transferred over to a completely different account. He's like, let me run it again and see what I can do. So he ran it, and the student loans are completely off, and Tommy's score went up as well. So he's like, okay, let me go back, let me play with the numbers again, and I'll give you a call back. He was to call back, and he says he's able to get our offer approved by the bank. So that means that we can now submit an official offer, send it to our realtor, have the realtor send it to the seller, and just wait and see if they accept our offer. So now we're in the step where we just have to wait. Everything is crossed, my fingers are crossed, my toes are crossed, everything is crossed. Sorry, y'all. I feel like all my updates have been in the car, which sucks. But so we got a call 2 nights ago. It's been 2 nights. I'm sorry. Not because we were like extremely heartbroken, but we didn't get the house. She called us and said that they went with another offer, that we were the backup offer just in case it didn't go through. So that means that we lost to one other person. which sucks. And they wouldn't even let us counter either, because I feel like depending on how much the other person like offered, maybe we could have offered more and got the house, but they didn't even let us counter. Today's March 17th. We got the call March 15th, so on Wednesday night. So yeah, it sucked. Continuing with the hunt, nothing has come on the market yet, and now we just have to wait until something else pops up on the market that's in our price range and good enough for us to go and check out and put another offer in. So, but at least we actually got to see this one, and we actually got to put in an offer, which is crazy. Like, so we had to feel some of the experience, I guess. The next update will be when we find another one that we're gonna go and check out, and then I'll let you guys know. As of today, March 17th, nothing. It's been 2 days. It is March 19th. Is today March 19th? So the realtor just gave us a call back and said that the first offer for that duplex fell through. So we got the house. We're gonna go and sign tomorrow, or sign electronically, and then officially be under contract. You excited, babe?
Yes. I'm excited.
We were not expecting that at all. As I told you guys on Friday, like, we were already like, okay, if it's not meant to be, it's not meant to be. But it came back to us. Of course, I'm gonna take you guys along the next few steps. This is when we get the home inspection done. This is when we get like all the ins and outs and all the very detailed things that need to get done before officially close. So closing could take anywhere from like 40 days and on. So technically this is just the beginning. So excited. Good morning, guys. It is Tuesday, March 21st, and I am here to go over the contract for the duplex so that we can officially go under contract. He sent over the contract too late last night for me to come and meet with her, so that's why it's been 2 days since we got that phone call. So I'm here now, and I couldn't be more excited. So we're in office. We're about to go over the contract and the addendums, you said?
Yes.
So we're gonna go over everything. But before that, I wanted to introduce you guys to our new realtor. Her name is Iris.
Hello.
If you want to tell them a little bit about yourself, how long you've been in real estate.
So my name is Iris Rivera. I'm your homegirl in New Jersey. I've been in real estate since 2016. Absolutely love what I do, and I am so excited to help them become first-time investors.
Yeah, that's so exciting. Look at those are all her words, everything over there. Killing it. I literally messaged her Thursday, 1 o'clock, and then Thursday, 2 o'clock, we already had the appointment set to go see the duplex. She was not planned, but she was recommended to me by my cousin. My cousin actually used her as well, and then she goes to my sister's church too, so it's a small world, but I'm so excited. So we're gonna get to doing this because you already know I'm excited.
There you are.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I just ran to the bank and took out 2 cashier's checks. Okay, so the first cashier's check was $250, and that was made out to the city for a certificate of occupancy. And this is so that we can get tenants to live in the space. She's actually gonna take care of that for us. She's gonna go to the city hall and go and get that certificate for us. And the second check was the deposit for the down payment. So you give up a deposit in the beginning of the contract period, and then you pay the rest at close for the home, and then they hold on to it. If anything happens in the home inspection, that something happens with the house, something's not right with the house, and we want to back out, that is 100% refundable. We can get that money back. That is just so that the seller knows that we are serious and that we are in the process of doing what we need to do to get to closing. Once Tommy gets home, I'm going to fill him in on everything. We have a home inspection next Wednesday, and we will be there for this home inspection. Just got home, and I got an email from the loan officer, and they wrote to me and they said that they need his last 4 pay stubs and all of the bank statements from February. So I'm gonna go through and do that and then send that off and then see what else they need.
I'm going to give you 2 options here, right?
Okay.
One's going to be a little less at closing, a little higher payment. The other one's going to be a little more at closing, a little lower payment. So I don't know what is more important for you guys.
Okay.
There's really no right or wrong, you know, I mean, and this is going to give you credit for the $8,000 in concession from the seller as well as the $5,000 deposit that you gave.
Okay.
If you want to rate a 6.125, you're going to be about $8,200 more to close. Total is $13,000 and change out of pocket. And that gives you a payment of $1,891 with taxes, insurance, everything. All right? Now, if we go with the slightly higher rate, which is 6.625, 6.125. That is going to give you a payment of $1,968, and your cash to close there is only $6,500. That's the remainder of your 3.5% plus the additional closing costs not covered by the concession.
Right. I think for us, we'll probably do the 6.625 one that you said. Just because we want that extra few grand for anything that we have to do after the fact.
And especially with it being a multi-unit,
yeah,
and
exactly.
You're getting $1,400 a month. You know, you're still living for $500 and some dollars. That's cheap.
Right,
you know?
right. Yeah, we'd rather do that, and then a year from now revisit it and just refinance. Yeah.
I think you're going to be able to refinance in the next few years. These rates are going to come back, and then you'll be able to take advantage of refinancing, and I think that makes sense.
Yeah.
I never like to give my opinion until somebody's made a decision, because then if things go the other way, I don't want people mad at me.
Right.
And I agree with you 100% on that. So I'm going to whip this up. I'll send it your way.
So basically what he was doing there is that you have an option to buy down your rate. Putting the less money down was 6.625. And then the more money down, which was $2,000 more, 6.125. Like, it wasn't even like a whole point. For the difference of monthly payment, $1,891 compared to $1,968. That's a difference of $77 a month. For me personally, I would rather pay the $77 more a month than drop the $2,000 immediately from the jump just to save that $77. It would take what? Let me see, times 12, times 2. It would take 2.5 years to get that $2,000 back because of those $77 difference. Like, so to me, it's not worth it. I'd rather keep the $2,000, have that money saved for a rainy day or for anything that we have to fix. But yeah, so hopefully that gives you guys an idea of like a situation that could possibly happen when you're going to buy a house. Hey guys, it has been an entire week. Today is March 29th. Today is the day of inspection. Nothing else really happened throughout the week. Basically, we just had to wait for this day. This is like the moment of truth on whether or not we are going to continue this contract, stick with the house, if it's worth it, all of the above. So this is when we ask all of the questions and try to find out anything and everything that is wrong with the house. It had like a whole plumbing system fixed because a previous owner was putting baby wipes down the toilet when they weren't supposed to, so they clogged it up pretty bad. They ended up having to have the entire thing replaced, and that is one thing that's on the driveway. You could tell that it had been dug up before, so that's one thing that we did find out when we went to go sign those papers. I did ask Tommy a couple questions of what he wanted me to ask them today because he won't be able to make it today. Tommy works at a body shop. It's very difficult for him to get away the last few days of the month. We're at the house now. I love it. I've been driving by it like almost every single day at like different hours of the day just to get a feel for like the neighborhood and all that stuff. Even though we're not living in it, I want to be a good landlord and I want this place to be kept well, and I just want to make sure that, you know, that what we're investing in is going to be a good investment. So I've been stopping by at different hours of the day, and every time I pass by it, I'm like, oh my gosh, I can't wait to get my hands on it. I can't wait to clean up the front. The previous owners left all of this. It's a lot of trash in here. All of that trash. And then more trash up front. Look at all this trash. So much trash. I'm literally just sitting here on the porch, just letting him do his thing. He's already told me about a couple things, so I've just been writing them down. 2 things came up that were very concerning to him, or at least were like a part of like the major concerning that needs to get fixed. He found 2 small gas leaks, and then both of the electrical boxes and all the wiring has to be redone. So he basically said whoever did it was definitely not a professional. So that's that. So that's very concerning because that has to get done, and he estimated the cost just for the electrical at like $10,000. Yeah, and we don't have $10,000 to put into that. So I told the realtor, she said she's gonna see what she can do. She's gonna get all the pricing, the actual quotes, and then present it to the seller and see what they are willing to do as far as like adding it to the offer, giving it back to us in some kind of concession so that we could pay it that way, or we end up having to walk away. So with that alone, I am freaking out because we've already spent almost $1,300 on all these inspections and certificates and whatever we needed to get, and if we decide to not go with this house, we're gonna lose all that money. We're gonna get back our $5,000 that we did, but everything else we're gonna lose. So I'm like so nervous and anxious if they don't want to do anything about it. But the only thing that I could think of is now that they're aware of these issues, they have to disclose that to the next potential sellers. So like, do they want to start the process all over again and disclose that from the very beginning and like hope that they find buyers that aren't going to care about that, which is not likely to happen? Or do they want to work with us and get this fixed now and proceed with the deal? Not so good news, but I'm trying not to lose hope. I have a major update for you guys. Last night at like 8:30ish, we get a call from Iris. So as I let you guys off, they did find those things that were wrong with it. The 2 gas leaks that need to get fixed, and both of the electrical panels also need to be replaced. Today's Friday, March 31st, so it's been 2 days since the home inspection. So last night, she gave us a call, and me and Tommy were laying in bed. I put her on speakerphone. She said that the seller is going to pay to get the electrical panels fixed. So she had a guy give her a quote, and it was $4,000. So the seller is actually going to pay the $4,000 to get that fixed, and the 2 gas leaks are already being fixed as we speak, because that was something that's like a safety hazard that needed to get done. There's like some shingles on the roof missing. It doesn't need to be replaced, it just needs some minor repairs, so we would need to do that too. But the seller is actually giving us $8,000 back from the deal that we're doing, the offer that we gave them. They're gonna give us back $8,000. $4,000 of it is gonna go towards fixing the electrical boxes, and then they give us an extra $4,000 to fix whatever needs to get fixed. When we did our deal, we actually put the offer in as is, so that way it looked more appealing to the seller, so that way we can, you know, get through. So he could have easily been like, you guys said as is, you guys are responsible for it, and then boom, 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 and that's it. We're gonna take care of the roofing repairs ourselves. My father-in-law said that he's gonna fix that for us. So what we're gonna do is actually use that extra $4,000 towards the closing costs. So many signs from God, like, that this was meant to be. Because of course, like, it's a huge investment, and we're like nervous and anxious and scared, but we're willing to make that jump. And then all these things just happening in our favor have just been solidifying the fact that this was meant to be. So now actually the next thing that we have to do is they sent me a letter of a bunch of little things that I have to get done. So basically they want me to go through everything that is in his collections and explain why it's in collections and sign off on it. And then they want updated March statements, which today's March 31st, so I'm gonna wait until tomorrow to do it, so that way I can actually have the entire month of March for all of the accounts. For me, it has been so packed and so stressful, so I am definitely gonna take care of that this weekend whenever I get a chance, so that way I have everything in by Monday for sure. So in order to close the house, we need an insurance declaration page, meaning that the home will be insured on April 21st when we close. That's what I'm doing today. A lot of paperwork and a lot of thinking, and my brain is fried, but closing is in 18 days and I'm so excited. April 21st.
And what's your phone number? Do you know what year the home was built?
Yeah, 1880.
Is there a basement?
Yes.
Is it finished?
No. Another update for you guys, it is April 12th. So this means there's only 9 days until closing. Past week, I have been getting a bunch of quotes from different kinds of home insurance companies. So that's one thing that you need to have prior to closing. You need to be searching for home insurance. So I usually like to call like a broker, and then they do all the hard work for me, and then they send me quotes. I did that to like 3 different brokers, and everybody that came back to me, the quotes were just way too expensive. Like, I'm talking the highest quote that I got was $2,900, and that was from Progressive, and we have auto insurance for Progressive, so we thought bundling was going to save us money there, but no. It turns out the home was built in 1880. Obviously, me, I love that, but insurance companies don't love that at all. So their quotes are either ridiculously high, or they wouldn't even want to cover the house because it was a risk or a liability or whatever, because it was so old. But the house has had so many updates, and it's not in a flood zone or anything, so that was just a struggle. So for the past week, I've been doing that, and I've been working on that list that I told you guys about. So after I gathered all the quotes from everybody, State Farm was the cheapest quote that I found. So now for the duplex, which is another thing that if you're a first-time home buyer, you may not know, the payment that they give you from the bank, that they tell you like, oh, your payment is going to be this much, that doesn't include the home insurance. So you can have the home insurance escrowed into the mortgage, and then they just divide it 12 months, so you just pay it monthly versus all in one shot. And that's what we would do. So add $167 on top of that, because that is how much the home insurance is going to cost us. But that also will be temporary. So what we're going to do is, once we have tenants actually living in the property, we can switch it from homeowners insurance to renter's insurance. Renter's insurance basically covers the studs and out, puts off some of the financial burden on us, and it also protects the client because they are able to get whatever insurance that they want inside of the home. This was just a little sacrifice that we had to make, at least for the first year, and then hopefully next year, the year after that, the interest rates go down and we can refinance. So it's gonna be pretty high. It's gonna be pretty high, but I'm looking at the future, I'm looking at the investment, and I think it's worth paying the extra few $100s a month on the mortgage and the insurance if in the long run it is going to benefit us financially, and it's going to help us gain that financial freedom that we are looking for. There's still ways out from that, but this is definitely a first step. I sent over the insurance declaration, and then she required another letter from me, so I filled out that letter and sent it to her. She is actually going to be sending me the closure agreement, meaning that we have done and fulfilled everything that we need on our part. They have everything that they need on their part, and we are all set and ready to go for closing date. Sorry about my appearance, y'all. I look a hot mess. I'm outside with the kids trying to let let them burn some energy, and I got a call from our realtor. We actually signed all of the closing documents yesterday on April 13th. We signed our end of the closing documents. Basically told us the exact interest rate, exactly how much money we're gonna still need down. But that wasn't the only thing that she called me about. So we signed our documents yesterday, and then she gave me a call like a couple hours ago. Was like, hey, the sellers are actually signing their closing documents today. Do you want me to see if I can have them push up the closing date? And I'm like, heck yeah. He actually just called me back now and is actually able to move up the closing date, which is unheard of. Normally they push back closing dates because something's missing from either the buyer or the seller, but moving up the closing date to April 18th. So we're gonna have the keys to the place 3 days earlier, and we're gonna be able to go in. I can paint when I want to paint, fix up when I want to fix up, and we'll be able to have tenants move in as soon as May 1st. That's so crazy, right, you guys? I'm so excited. And the next step is that we're actually gonna have the city inspection on Monday. So April 17th is the city inspection. They just want to make sure that it's livable and that there's no safety hazards, that there's fire extinguishers, fire alarms, stuff like that. And she's gonna go double check to make sure that there is. I don't remember from touring the place, I don't remember if I seen the fire extinguishers or not. So if there isn't, then this weekend we're gonna go out and buy some. That's super exciting, but that's the last update that I'll give you guys until Tuesday when we close. Immediately after work, Tommy had to run to the duplex and start cleaning up the property because the city inspector said in order for us to pass inspection, the property has to be cleaned up. And as I had mentioned before, that the previous tenants had left a bunch of trash. So here he is picking up the property. We just need to replace both of the smoke detectors, and now we officially have our certificate of occupancy. Yay! All right, today is closing day. Excited, babe?
Yeah. Before June 1st being that first payment, as usual, you have that right to prepay. If you want to pay this loan off early, feel free to do so. Isn't that nice of them? Yeah, right. You give them all your money, go for it. Right. That's all they're telling you. That's good. And then payments due the 1st, you'll always have that 15-day window. As long as your payment's in by the 15th, it will not be considered late. Keep homeowners insurance on the property at all times. You've already shown proof of that. You'll continue to keep that policy up to date. You're not going to store hazardous waste in there, chemicals, substances, anything that's going to blow the place up.
If you do, don't cost a lot of
Yes. Make your payment on time, and you're never going to check out money. Not that I'm telling you to turn it into a meth lab, but that is exactly what they mean for you not to do. Exactly. Without just putting it out there, that is what they mean. The first payment, principal and interest, escrow for taxes, homeowners, mortgage insurance as well.
How are you? Chad.
Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you. How are you? I'm Nathan.
What's
nice
up, Nathan? Hey.
And then commitment, you've already signed your commitment electronically, just like you've signed mostly all of this package. Yeah. You're just signing it and getting there. So signature and date there.
What's your address?
15 North 2nd Street.
Do you want to hold that? Yeah.
Cash order.
Yep, cash. Perfect.
Have you seen Charity lately?
No, I haven't seen her in so long.
No, because it's
See, how do you like it?
I saw her at the track last
Okay,
night.
I gotta change my, wait, there you go. I gotta change this.
Oh yeah, those are cute. He is.
You like
really
them?
is. Mine.
Okay, and now I'm jumping in with you.
Oh, wait, I get that one.
Want me to take
Yeah,
it? Yeah, I'll
thank
take
you so
it.
much. All right.
You too. Have
Yep.
a good day. You too, Sarah. Nice to
Thank
meet you.
you.
Sorry, Art.
Yep.
3, 2, 1. No sideways?
No, I got it right behind you.
Yep. Yeah, but
Oh.
now.
You got cameras everywhere. I love it. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
I took a bunch. Pleasure working with you.
Yes, great working with you.
Absolutely. Pleasure. Best of luck.
Thank you.
Pleasure meeting you.
Oh, I love
Make
it.
it.
Yes, yes.
Guys, enjoy the day.
Bye. Have a good
Take
one.
care. You too.
Oh, it's so cute. I love it.
Life is a winding road, no telling where it goes. Driving through days and nights, won't stop for traffic lights.